Spark innovation across your federal agency with IT hardware, software, and services from Connection Public Sector Solutions. Your technology procurement challenges will meet their match as Connection's dedicated account managers offer exceptional customer service, and our extensive list of supported federal contracts means you'll always get a price that works for your budget. Learn more about innovation for your agency with Connection Public Sector Solutions at connection.com/fedcontracts.
Hike the trail? Check. Order takeout? Check. Schedule heart checkup? Done. We've all adapted to a new way of living. Keep your healthcare on schedule with Johns Hopkins Medicine, where your health and safety are our highest priorities. We're ready to care for you through virtual and in-person visits across Maryland and the greater Washington region. Your health, our experts, safely caring for you. Schedule your care now. Learn more at hopkinsmedicine.org/safe.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Grammarly Premium. Get a 1-month free trial of Grammarly Premium. Also, thank you to vidIQ for sponsoring today's show. And thank you to Amazon Music Unlimited. If you want to get your free trial of Amazon Music Unlimited, just click on the link to my website to find out more. Welcome to the Stephen Shiels radio show. Today I've got Franko Heke from Insight Timer. How are you, Franko?
Kia ora, brother. I'm really good, man. Thanks for having me on here.
You're welcome. I've seen some of your work on Insight Timer. It's talented and fantastic. How did you come across Insight Timer and teaching on the app?
Yeah, it's actually a really cool story. It's about listening to your mother, because my mum found the app about 10 years ago, and I was just getting into meditating and doing yoga and playing mantra music. And she reached out to me and she was like, Franko, I think you've got a good voice and you should record meditations. Check out this app that I've found. And back then it was super small. I think it was started by a guy in LA. And I don't know if you've ever seen like Craigslist, but yeah, Craigslist is not the prettiest website in the world at all. And that's what it looked like. It was just like really bones, 1990s type looking. And I was like, okay, this is, okay, I'll give it a go. Listen to Mum. And I recorded a couple of meditations straight after I got back from India, my yoga teacher training in Rishikesh. So I was all zenned out and like totally in that meditative frame of mind to do it. And I recorded a couple just on my little computer and uploaded them and sort of forgot about them for like a year or two. And I looked back, I logged in a year later and there was like 300,000 plays of like my sleep meditation and a bunch of others. I was just like, wow, okay, this is amazing. What's going on? So yeah, that's how it started. Just anyone listening, like listen to your mum. She's often right.
That's pretty good. No, it's come a long way, the app now. They got live streaming on it as well.
Yeah, well, it was bought by an Australian, I think. That's why it's taken such a lift, because whoever bought it, I don't know them. I think I might have met them online once, but whoever bought it just really raised it up and made it look great and got the what we call here kaupapa, the vision really clear. And because they don't really market it, I think the whole thing's grown organically. It has that safe feeling about it, like that kind of honest, they're in it for the right reasons type feel about it, and it's just been incredible for my getting my content out there with meditations, with my music and courses, and yeah, like you said, I've just started doing regular lives as well. I do a regular Monday kirtan, which is singing mantra, which is like a mantra meditation, singing meditation.
Mm-hmm. And other than that, with the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, Franko, how did you cope with that, being a yoga and meditation teacher?
The transition has been real. I mean, I've gone from doing a lot of I run in-person festivals here in New Zealand and workshops and retreats, and fly to Bali and Spain every year to do things, and so none of that can happen anymore. So the transition through Insight Timer has been a really fluid one. So I've been uploading more content. I as soon as the first lockdown happened here in New Zealand, and it's just been that big push to go online, and I think there's been a lot of great things that have come from that. We're not using so much fuel to get to places anymore, so we're having to, we can learn a lot from a Zoom call, and there's pluses and minuses to it all. But I think the world's needed a bit of a shutdown to realise how good how free we've kind of had it, but our freedom we've been quite careless as well. So I've been enjoying creating content, and I'm really about to get going with a lot more music albums in the next few months too.
What's it been like making a living as a meditation and yoga teacher for yourself?
It's beautiful because everything I say on my meditations and teach in my workshops, I'm basically talking to myself, because to teach is to remind yourself what it is works for you. So I get to everything I say. It's like me reminding myself that I need to do it for myself. So we're all in it together. We're a team. If I'm leading a meditation on Insight Timer, I'm sure transmuting to you, the listener, but I'm actually talking about what I need to remember as well. And so it really integrates beautifully, powerfully into my real life and myself. And it just so seems to help a lot of people as well. It's just beautiful, self-sustaining thing. Love it.
No, it's very good what you're doing as well. We've seen the world go crazy last year as well, with all this panic buying and all the media bombarding us with false information. How did you look after your mental health?
Yeah, good question, and there's a lot of information out there, right? And I think the way I've decided to decipher what I need to know about, or what is truth, is just to close my eyes and look inside. And my body never lies. I know my body knows better than anyone what's good for it. So I sort of just tend to gravitate to what I really personally need, and cut myself off from the noise of what everyone else is saying, and do my own thing. And I'm lucky that I can do that. I think a lot of people find that very difficult, and I used to find that really difficult as well. We tend to follow the masses, and but the problem is that the masses tends to be governed by money and the sway of money and marketing. Like the best things in the world that don't necessarily pop up on the biggest billboard, right? Because the biggest billboard is Coca-Cola, but aren't avocados better than Coca-Cola? So why wouldn't avocados be on the biggest billboard? But they're not. So we really need to step away and get that kind of bold confidence to do our own thing. Otherwise, we will all be overweight alcoholics and brainwashed into thinking that Justin Bieber is the best music in the world. And I love Justin Bieber, but like it's there's entertainment quality to music, and then there's medicinal quality to music, and they all have a space. It's just we need to go back to our ancient roots of the medicinal quality of music. And for me, that's letting everyone embody the fact that they are the musicians. Everyone in the world is a musician. We had to sing and beat our own drum in order to hear music 150 years ago, because there wasn't speakers, and therefore we got the power shot of vibrating our bodies. So now we use these little earbuds and stuff, and we listen to Spotify, and there's a bit of medicine. There's a bit of medicine there, but it's nowhere near as potent as being the musician. So there's a space for entertainment. Music is entertainment, no doubt. Love it. Love to dance. Love pop music myself and everything. But we need to balance it out with a self-empowerment and it'd be guided by our ancestors, because that's how we got all the way here from 1 million years ago. We beat our drum around the fire. We danced. We sung. We chanted. We gathered. So we can't forget that good stuff.
Nah, and you're a musician, are you, Franko?
Yep. So are you.
Yes. I'm a...
Everyone is.
Yes.
Everyone is. But yeah, I play guitar and sing and drum and I'm into the Norm music. I love the yidaki, the didgeridoo from Australia. I've just started learning the breath technique around didgeridoo, and that's incredible, and that's a meditation in itself. I love music. I love all instruments. I think music is a powerful way to gather, and certain types of music can be an amazing meditation as well. And I do what's called kirtan, which is the call and response version of ancient mantra. So I sing a line of a mantra out, and the whole crowd sings that line back to me, and we keep doing that back and forth like a game of musical tennis for however long, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it becomes this oneness, this vibration of oneness with everybody, and you just go so deep into a meditation. You open your heart, and you let the mind stuff go. The mind chatter goes very fast. It's a lot easier of a meditation than shutting your eyes and sort of trying to switch off your thoughts. It's a beautiful thing.
And do you like heavy metal music?
I love heavy metal music. I've got Guns N' Roses tattooed on my left calf muscle.
Yeah.
I've got Aerosmith on my hip. Massive metal fan. Metallica, Pantera, Sepultura, all the greats, man. And yeah, but I love all music. I think epic melody is epic melody, and it can be found anywhere.
Well, that's it. That's what music is supposed to lift you up in the dark times as well. But we haven't seen a lot of touring, which sucks.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for musicians, man. Here in New Zealand, Aotearoa here, we're so blessed. I don't know if you guys are up on the play with our COVID situation, but we've got one community case in the whole country right now, and we've been able to sort of shut the borders down in a way so that we can live pretty normally, and all our local artists, big and small, are being able to tour all the time. Festivals are happening. It's been quite amazing, and a lot of us are full of gratitude to be doing this. But yeah, no international artists at all. But we've seen an incredible rise of local talent because of it.
Is New Zealand strict on the social distancing?
No, because we just don't have it. We don't have any. We have next to no COVID here. So as soon as a case gets through the border, depending where that case is, that city gets basically locked down until it's all traced and found out, stamped out, and then back to business as normal. It's very disruptive. We have a festival that we're running in 2 weeks' time called NZ Spirit Festival, and we went to a lockdown last week, and if that lockdown continued, then our whole festival would have to be canned. So it's pretty hard on the adrenals when that happens, especially if you're a promoter, but any business owner, it affects you. Yeah, it's full on, man.
No, it is. In Australia too, we had a few cluster outbreaks in New South Wales because I'm in Sydney. Melbourne went into a third lockdown for 5 days. And Perth had a lockdown for 5 days. Brisbane, it's just crazy.
Yeah, what do you think about it? Is the fear valid? Is the lockdowns of this, scale valid?
I think they are. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Because, Australia's still letting people come into the country despite a pandemic as well. Is it like that in New Zealand?
We are only allowing Kiwis, New Zealanders come into the country. We're not allowing any internationals.
Mate, we're still...
Do you guys have internationals coming through?
Yeah. But they go into...
Just open.
Yeah, well, they go into a hotel quarantine for 2 weeks. And the vaccine...
I I guess that doesn't make much of a difference. Like where people come from, if your border's open, it's open.
Yeah.
But we've decided to only keep it open for Kiwis right now. But humans are humans, and
Yeah.
if you've got a good protocol, like a 2-week quarantine, like we do too, then what's the difference in a way?
Well, that's exactly right, Franko. I mean, yesterday was the first day of the vaccine rollout in Australia. Our Prime Minister Scott Morrison took the Pfizer vaccine. What's the vaccine situation going to be in New Zealand?
I think the exact same timing has happened. I think the vaccine started to roll out a few days ago here, so I'm not up with the play with the ins and outs of it. Whether they're trying to make it compulsory, I don't know. I don't know enough to really comment. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Does it work? Is it safe? Has it had enough time of testing? Yeah, but it's such a hot topic, isn't it? You know, and again, it fires people up. Are vaccines way more safer than they used to be, or even healthy now? Who knows? I'm not a scientist. But I definitely am going to keep my eyes wide open because it's going to affect all of us. And if there's a hint of compulsory vaccination, then we all need to really do our due diligence,
Because there's talks about if you want to travel internationally in the future, you have to be vaccinated, and you're a musician too. So, and I'd like to travel soon. And the one thing that worries me a bit is I wouldn't take it straight away.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No. I mean, to be honest, personally, I'm so happy. I would love to keep traveling for sure, but there's been a carelessness that the whole world has been traveling with. We've been over-traveling, we all know someone that, would go from Auckland to Sydney for a business meeting and then back again the next day. Like, do we need to do that? Zoom is pretty much taking care of those kind of necessities. So we do need to change our whole mindset with the over-traveling and that sort of gluttonous burning of fossil fuels. I personally am using this as an opportunity to look at my own country, and I just bought a house bus, been stripping back an old school bus and turning it into a house truck that I'm living in full time, and I've been able to spend the last month looking around this country, and I wouldn't mind doing that for the next year or two if I need to. And it's about kind of accepting what is, and going, okay, these are the cards. The cards aren't going to change for a while. How am I going to best use this to be the best result possible? Instead of wishing something be different, because we get into such a tailspin, we get so depressed and so agitated when we wish for something that isn't. It can be just such a simple mindset change of like, okay, this is what's happening. How do I make the best of this? Such a better way to live. So I'm stoked to be in Aotearoa, New Zealand, looking around my home, seeing things I haven't seen before, and then allowing the future to unravel.
Well, it's always good to be grateful for where you live. I mean, Australia too has got a lot of very interesting places to travel, Franko.
Oh, mate, like, what a country.
You know,
what a diverse country. Like, the outer rim of your country is just green and glorious, and then you go in and it's just like a whole desert landscape change, and the islands that you've got off your land as well. I mean, I think the landmass is bigger than the USA, right?
Yeah, it's a huge place. Like, if you go to the Northern Territory in the wet, you don't need to go to Singapore.
Exactly. Yeah. You go to some of the islands up on the top east coast. You don't need to go to, Fiji. Like, let's look at our home and let's start cleaning our home up. Let's start putting the love back into our home and our local economy. Let's clean our backyard up, and maybe we can maybe then Mother Nature will go, okay, you've done the work now to deserve to hang out with each other again. You know, we've been put into our naughty box, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I've been to New Zealand. It's a nice place to go.
Yeah, man.
You know,
beautiful, eh?
I'd go to the South Island again if I could. I've only been to the North.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the South Island, man. Like, I want to spend all of winter, I think, in the South Island because it's so mountain-esque and you can ski there. I mean, you can ski some parts of the North Island too, but there's a vibe down there that is a bit cozy, and I'd love to take my daughters down there and spend the winter. Would love you back as well, man.
Oh yeah, I'd love to go back in winter. You know, because you look at 2019, 2020. I'm a volunteer bushfire fighter. We had that big bad bushfire in New South Wales. I remember to this day, there was so much smoke in the air and all the crap and all that. It was like we're living in Shanghai, China.
I know, and you know, basically those fires happened on the scale they did because, you know, the Australian government didn't listen to your local Indigenous people of how to deal with, you know, backlighting, right?
Backburning.
Oh, backburning, yeah, yeah. It's like your Indigenous people have got thousands of years of wisdom on how to look after and deal with this land and prosper, and you know, probably got shunned, I'd say, when had some advice to give until it was too late. You know, so we all need to come together and acknowledge what we're best at. You know, we're all ancient. We're all ancient. Doesn't matter what color skin you are, and we all got magical powers and magical knowledge to share. But we need to have, you know, governments balanced again. Men, women, Indigenous, you know, everything else. Like we all need to start sharing this knowledge and transcending from this kind of controlling, I know better than you type way of being humble.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, you know, it taught me a lot, the 2019-2020 bushfire season, because I went down to like Bargo. I went out on a 40-degree day, Franko, and it was so smoky and all that. My God, you couldn't see anything. Bad.
Oh man, how's it all there now? Like, what's the rejuvenation?
Oh, it's been much better this year. It's nice and clear, which is good. That's what you want. But
and nature's powerful, man. The element of fire. Wow.
Speaking of New Zealand, do you guys get bad bushfire season?
We get fires. Nothing on your guys' scale, but they do happen. And we get the odd, you know, arson as well of, you know, someone lighting something stupid and it growing to a crazy size. But like you say, for you guys, this season seems to be pretty quiet. There was about 2 seasons ago that there was a few pretty bad fires up in the north of the North Island, I think. But yeah, you know, we do. We just don't get as hot as you guys, so it's not as much. It's not as prevalent.
Well, the weather's always better in New Zealand anyway, I think.
Better than Aussie?
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. Like,
yeah, the 2019-20 bushfire season was from pretty much south, and it was starting to go all the way up to Queensland.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, nuts, eh?
Nah, never in my life did I see anything like that. And like...
Yeah, no one did. No one's seen anything like that in our lifetime, eh?
The amount of people's properties that had to be evacuated too. Oh, you know.
I know, loss of belongings, quite a few deaths. And you know, but it's Mother Nature as well, going like, "Hey, I'm pretty powerful. Don't forget."
Oh yeah.
Show some respect. Yeah, full on
Mm. The air quality was just so bad, dude. It was just,
I know.
making me feel sick.
It was so powerful, man. That New Zealand went under a blanket of smoke.
Jesus Christ.
Australia. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have the sun for about a day or two.
God.
Yeah, it was big.
My God, and then travelled that far.
Yeah, isn't it nuts?
Fuck.
Isn't it nuts? I don't know how many kilometres it is from where the fires are, but a lot, man. I mean, from here to you guys in a plane ride to where the fires were would have been a 6-7 hour plane ride, and it's a long way. It's a long way for that smoke to not have dispersed by the time it got here, and change our whole environment. So you can imagine, when these big volcanoes and things exploded years ago around the world, like our one here, we've got a massive lake called Taupo.
Yep.
Lake Taupo, which was a volcano that erupted, one of the biggest in the world, and it basically blacked out the sky, everywhere for months. It's amazing that stuff hasn't happened again in our lifetime. What's coming.
So in New Zealand, you guys get frequent volcanoes, do you?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of live volcanoes. We had a big, we have an island called White Island, and there's a volcano that's live on that. Well, the island is a volcano, and it's normally just bubbling away quietly. It lets off quite a bit of steam, hence the name White Island, because of the white steam that comes out. But it exploded about a year ago, and tourists were on there, and they got absolutely smoked. Like they died. Mother Nature's just reminding us.
Yeah.
Be humble, be grateful for every breath.
Because you get a lot of earthquakes too.
Yep. Yeah, we get earthquakes here. Christchurch went through their big earthquake and are still coming back from that, and that's like over 10 years ago. Yeah, everywhere has their thing, eh?
Yeah.
Everywhere has their thing, and there's beauty in that. Like, wow, what a vibration! What a performance a volcano is! What an amazing thing! Yeah. Makes you humble though.
Oh yeah. Because you look at Australia, like you go up to Cairns and like the middle Northern Territory, they get cyclones up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right. And the rest of the country doesn't get that at all.
Yeah.
It's quite wild how things change.
I remember February last year, we had a lot of flooding around Sydney. We had all this rain. We had storm damage up at our local shop as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, 2020 was just going to be a weird year, Franko.
Yeah. yeah, and it's like, but how much of that as well is just kind of us magnifying, like kind of looking for things that are a bit wacky as well. I mean, it was a big wacky year for sure. But we can all, energy, what is it? What's that saying? Energy grows where attention goes.
Yeah.
Energy grows where attention goes, and because of the craziness of which was COVID and stuff last year, at the start of last year, we started to, as a world, look at everything that could be a little funky, and it's like, well, every year there's a lot of things that are pretty funky, but we were looking for it last year, so we saw a bit more than we normally would. So just a reminder that crazy shit happens every year, and every day, expect it.
And did you hear all last year was just Donald Trump on the media? Did you get that a lot in New Zealand?
Yeah, boring, eh? Far out. What a brainwash.
Oh, man.
What a oversaturation of one person. Such an oversaturation. Like, this is the issue. Like, the more one person gets attention, the less empowered the masses feel, and we need to empower every individual in this world to know that they are a leader and they're a magical, powerful person. I mean, just a shame. Like I said, like energy. Our energy flowed there, and it was just average, just average place to put our energy. You know, when our local communities, our families could use that energy rather than looking at Donald Trump. Bless him.
Yeah, and I just got fed up with it.
Yeah. Dude needs to meditate, eh?
Oh yeah. No, because you looked over there in the United States in the middle of a pandemic, people were just living, like, going all protesting. He was doing all these rallies, there was all crowds. Crazy, dude.
Yeah. And it is what it is. Like, everything that's happening is also perfect in its own way. It's like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do about it? How does it affect you personally? What do you need to create your best life? And these are the questions I'm asking myself all the time. What is the environment I'm in the best it can be for me? Is the food I'm eating the best it can be for me? The water I'm drinking, the practices I make during the day, the rituals, the people I hang out with, we need to look at ourselves and our immediate environment and worry about that before worrying about what's happening in another country, especially.
Yeah. It teaches me a lot, Franco. I'm thankful to live in Australia.
Yeah, you should be, man. Amazing country.
Taught me a lot, the pandemic. And, so what else, have you got anything else coming up on Insight Timer?
Yes. So I will be running my live kirtan on Monday this week, or next week. So that's an hour and a half of singing, and I'll be singing mantra on there, and anyone that comes on can sing too. There's normally about 700 people that join me.
Awesome.
It's really beautiful. That happens every Monday. I am about to release a whole bunch of music on Insight Timer and Spotify.
Yep.
There's a bunch of music on there right now. My big festival here in New Zealand, Ended Spirit Festival, is coming up, so a lot of my energy is going towards that. We're only 9 days away. A couple of thousand people, 4 days, 3 nights, camping under the stars, 150 workshops during the day, from everything from meditation to yoga to past life regression to learning how to fast. There's about 5 workshop zones going all at the same time, and then we go into music at night to celebrate all the work that's done during the day, and it's just super beautiful. About 3,000 people coming to that, so life's busy at the moment, and once that's finished, I'm going to get back into recording a lot of content for Insight Timer, for the world family out there. Meditations. I want to do a course on helping men and women through depression. So that's going to be really exciting. So watch out, and you can see everything I'm doing at frankoheke.com.
Speaking of your courses, I've done one of your Tantra courses on Insight Timer. That was really good. Now, what is Tantra, Franco?
Tantra means weave. So it's the recognition and the weaving of your energy. And Tantra, to live kind of in a tantric state, is to sort of slow everything down and to be aware of the balance that is you, the masculine and the feminine. Because you, as a man, you're not just masculine. You are half masculine, half feminine. And as to give love, to give awareness to those parts of yourself that need to come through in order to be the balance, be that optimum being. And then once you balance yourself in that way, then you can offer that balanced person to another person, and then you can find this beautiful synergy and harmonious state between yourself as one is Tantra. Tantra is life. Tantra is the meeting of energy. It's the weave. Like I said, the word Tantra literally means weave, to weave. So it's about big self-awareness, big self-responsibility.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a really amazing journey, and I invite anyone to do this course that Nikki and I put together, but also read up on what White Tantra is. So White Tantra is the most ancient form of Tantra. Neo Tantra is kind of more sexuality stuff, but yeah, what Tantra actually is what we call here in Māori the whole order, the full circle of everything that we do. Everything we do affects everything we do. So we need to balance every facet of our life in order to rise up and be an optimum being, and then we can share that with the world, share that with someone else, and also inspire others to do the same. Not hide anything,
That's the way to go, Franko. That's the way to go, man. And what else you working on for 2021 this year?
Like I said, like a lot of albums, like musical albums. As soon as this festival's finished, I'm going to jump into that, as well as finish my house bus. So I'll be fully kitted out for the winter here in my house, rolling around the country. I'm going to have a little studio on there. I'll be able to record meditations on the road. Just look at this beautiful land and relax a little bit as well, because it's a busy time. We run 3 big events here every summer, and the festival next week is the last of those 3. So really time for some relaxing and listening to some meditations and reading some books.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Franko, where can people find you on your social media?
Yeah, so you can find me through frankoheke.com, frankoheke.com, and my Spotify links, my Instagram, Facebook, and everything is there. So it's nice and easy, frankoheke.com, and send me a message, say hi, and ask any questions you need, and it'd be great to meet you guys, everyone out there.
Franko, thanks for coming on the show today. It was really good.
Oh, such a gift, man. Thank you so much for reaching.
Well, thanks for listening to today's episode of the podcast. Subscribe to the show, turn on those notifications, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Thank you to Franko Heke for coming on. It was a really good show today. Also, don't forget, you can send a donation to my GoFundMe page as well. This helps update equipment for the podcast, helps with funding. Also, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on social media. Links in the description. Cheers, everyone.
Hike the trail? Check. Order takeout? Check. Schedule heart checkup? Done. We've all adapted to a new way of living. Keep your healthcare on schedule with Johns Hopkins Medicine, where your health and safety are our highest priorities. We're ready to care for you through virtual and in-person visits across Maryland and the greater Washington region. Your health, our experts, safely caring for you. Schedule your care now. Learn more at hopkinsmedicine.org/safe. Hike the trail? Check. Order takeout? Check. Schedule heart checkup? Done. We've all adapted to a new way of living. Keep your healthcare on schedule with Johns Hopkins Medicine, where your health and safety are our highest priorities. We're ready to care for you through virtual and in-person visits across Maryland and the greater Washington region. Your health, our experts, safely caring for you. Schedule your care now. Learn more at hopkinsmedicine.org/safe.